Welcome back, folks, to the Mel Wright Show. This is episode 231. We really have got a special guest. I've been really looking forward to this interview. We've got Stephen Pacinelli with us, and I've probably totally butchered his name, but hopefully he's going to not hold it against me. And I also got Robert Newman, my great co-host, with us. Stephen, would you like to quickly introduce yourself? Obviously, I think most people in the industry know that you're one of the founders of BombBomb, but would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. And I'm not a founder. I'm the chief marketing officer for BombBomb, but I can tell you the founder's story. But just a little bit of background, about me. I got in the real estate tech industry in the year 2000. And so been in this industry working with real estate agents for 2 decades now. And worked with top producer, Realtor.com, national speaker and trainer through Realtor.com, worked there for a while, traveled the country and provided training and education. And while I was in that role, that's when I found BombBomb, which is a company that allows you to communicate more effectively using video. And it's a replacement for a voicemail or an email where you can send yourself, people can hear and see you and hear the tone that you're using and deliver the message in the way that it was intended. And in 2011, I had a sales team at Realtor.com. We were trying to figure out how we could sell more products, how we can connect with people more effectively. And that's when I signed up and I was a BombBomb customer for 4 years.
Wow.
And so I made all the mistakes with video. I used it wrong, incorrectly, didn't get results, got results, back to I went through the ups and downs of video as a customer for 4 years, and then came on as the VP of marketing then in 2015 to kind of walk them through the day in the life of a customer or of a video user. And so, yeah, that's my quick backstory.
And thank you for agreeing to come on the show. I know Stephen's very busy, and he's one of a small group of people that I always listen and read your materials, Stephen. And I've been a fan for the past couple of years. I've got my great co-host, Robert Newman. Robert, would you like to quickly introduce yourself to the new listeners and viewers?
Sure. So I'm the founder of a company called Inbound Real Estate Marketing. I am an advocate proponent of a type of marketing that is not very prevalent inside of real estate, which is basically the law of attraction as opposed to the law of promotion. So if you're interested in checking out that or the concept, hit my website, and you can also talk to John. He does it a different way. So we're two sides of the same coin. So go, John, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm the founder of Mel Wright. I've been involved with the internet marketing and front-end coding for the past 15 years. I started Mel Wright about 3 years ago. We're a suite of tools that get you quality leads with an emphasis on Facebook marketing, but much, much more. So if that sounds interesting, go to the Mel Wright website and you can book a free consultation with me, and we will actually develop a one-page marketing plan for you, which you can use in 2020. So let's go straight into it, Stephen. BombBomb's a unique product. Video, me and Robert have been going on about video all during 2019. And where do you think video is at the present moment? And what are some of the mistakes you see some people making around utilizing video?
Yeah, so great questions. There is a distinction, what I believe is marketing through video and relationships through video, and using video as a marketing tool or using video to communicate more clearly and effectively, and both are valuable tools in a real estate agent's tool set, because they want to market their listings, they want to market their brand, they want to market their team, themselves, etc. And there's a time and place for marketing through video. But what is underutilized is the relationship video play, and that is, rather than being black text on a white screen and responding to a Zillow lead, a website, your own website lead, a Realtor.com lead, et cetera, and looking exactly the same as everyone else, black text on a white screen where there's no differentiation, sending yourself, in person, introducing yourself, getting that meeting, getting that face-to-face meeting before you can actually get the face-to-face meeting. And so there's video works well in so many different ways for so many different contexts. And depending on how you want to use video in your business, getting started with personal one-to-one videos to other people can get you more comfortable on camera. And that's how I really started back in 2011, is sending out these one-to-one videos that I didn't have to memorize a script for. I didn't have to be perfect on the video. I could make mistakes because it was only meant for an audience of one rather than an audience of 1,000.
Well, that sounds great. Over to Robert.
So, Stephen, first of all, you're talking to two of probably the biggest proponents of video in general that you're ever going to speak to. I use it religiously inside my inbound marketing strategies. Mm-hmm. I do the hardest of the hard, which is get realtors to film like video, which is seriously, it's the most difficult thing I've ever done in my 13-year career of real estate marketing, is getting these guys to go out, be in front of a camera and like film educational or area videos. So we're huge fans, but I don't know that everybody, and I know who you are. I am not John. I haven't followed you on a blog, but I followed the meteoric success of BombBomb over the years. And one of your top influencers is one of my clients. So who uses BombBomb is get awards from you guys, who's like a Tom Ferry, like disciple and just all that stuff, right? So having said all that, though, I don't feel like every single one of our listeners is going to be familiar with the actual service. And I know that we're saying video, but that isn't, I don't think, a succinct description of what BombBomb truly does. Yeah. So I'd like to ask you for like a foundational, like, okay, so do you mind if I explain slightly for the audience just to catch them up and then you'll jump in and...
Sure.
Okay. So video, guys, what BombBomb does is it makes a video inside of an email. And then you have that video get clickable, essentially, and then you can view a video inside of an email. There's a lot of communication about this, but I want to let Stephen handle it all because I feel like there's a difference in the way that communication is received. And if you have any statistics that you could share with our audience to let them know what the effectiveness is of your method of communication versus another, I'd appreciate it. And then there's also an effectiveness in terms of not only is it opened, but how is the message absorbed? Like what is and I've seen tons of statistics on this, but I'd love for you to share some with our audience.
Yeah. And that's basically it in a nutshell. We make it easy for you to get face-to-face with the people that matter the most in your business through email, text, and social. And so it does work great in email, but our customers are using it for LinkedIn messages, Facebook messages as well, text messaging. We have a text messaging application. And if you think of it as a replacement for typed out text, and that's the style of video. When you need to build trust or rapport, when you need to overcome a difficult objection that someone wrote you in an email and you can't get a hold of them on the phone, that is an opportunity to use video. A lot of people do video conferencing these days too, and that's well and great, but you need to get the other person on at the same exact time. This allows you to get face-to-face the other 99.9% of the time that you can't have a synchronous meeting at the same time. And so what we do is we make it simple and easy to record and send these video messages. So let's say you're in your Gmail and you get an email and you have an angry customer that feels upset about something. Rather than typing a response out, you would click the record button built right into Gmail, and you would just speak your message like you would if you were right in front of them, handling their objection or their concern. And you would say, I'm so sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, that you feel that way. Here's what we're going to do. Here's how I'm going to fix it. And you speak the message and they hear the empathy. They hear the emotion in your voice. They don't misconstrue the message, which is one of the things that happens the most in a text-based email or text-based communication. And so you hit record, you speak your message, you send it out, and then you get the tracking and the notification, that they watched it. You know exactly how much they watched it because you get an email back that will say they watched 89% of the video that you just created. And now you have a way to understand the engagement that you had with that person too. People always tracked, or for a long time in the digital space, people would track email opens and clicks. And if you have a mass email system, people will track opens and clicks, but opens and clicks mean nothing because you don't know if they read your email. If they opened it and looked at it for a half a second, is that valuable to you? But the ultimate metric is, did they open it and did they play your video and did they play your entire video? Because now you actually know if they heard and consumed your message and you know how to follow up more effectively. And so whether you're using it to, I gave an example of someone that was upset, but you can, for a brand new lead, where you're trying to win their business, for a past client, for a lead that went cold, for reaching out. I have a great story, if you want to get into it later, of an agent, Jimmy Burgess, that generated $11 million of new listings in 90 days from sending one video a day. And he's got a strategy that he's been using ever since, and it's amazing. And so it's used for that, for communication.
If you're willing to spend 10 extra minutes with us today at the end of the show, that's the kind of thing that John and I typically love to offer as bonus content. And that would be offered to our YouTube audience exclusively, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, great.
Wonderful. So John, I know you're sitting there quietly, but this is one of your big gets, because both Jonathan and I have our various people that we follow, on blogs and things like that. And they tend to be a little bit different because I'm an SEO guy, an inbound marketer guy, and he's like a CRM, logical data organization guy. So we each kind of usually have our own pockets of people that we follow. And you're definitely one of his pockets of people. So John, why don't you, I know you're just dying to ask some questions, so please ask away. You've been real kind and let me speak at all. I appreciate it.
No, it's no problem. no problem at all. Actually, time goes quick and it's time for our break, actually. 15 minutes goes rather quickly, but we're going to come back and we're going to be talking about all things video after the break, folks, with Stephen. See you soon. We're coming back. We've had a feast on video. I'm going to feast some more about this fascinating subject. So, Stephen, I think like the thing you said, you got video that you can use as a marketing tool, and you got video that you can use to build a relationship, which is BombBomb. And then you got the explosion of video on social media, haven't you? How do you see social media fitting in to a kind of promotional video that you might have on an agent website and the real one-to-one kind of use of video that BombBomb promotes?
Yeah, I mean, it's great if you have both. A lot of people aren't comfortable creating video for mass audiences, but they become more comfortable sending video to a one-to-one. But if you can do both and you create amazing neighborhood tours and you like and enjoy featuring local businesses and creating great content around your area, and you put those videos on Instagram and on Facebook and you feature your hometown, like a lot of agents love that, and they work hand in hand. It's just, for 25 years, someone decided 25 years ago that email and text-based communication was going to take the place of our most important communication. And that's how business people would communicate. And that's how we did communicate for the past 2 decades. And the pendulum has swung, and people are pushing back, against the text-based communication, because you don't get the authenticity, you don't get differentiation in text-based communication. We've only been reading and writing for 500 years as a species, mass adoption of reading and writing. For 500 years, it's something that people aren't as adept at, but it's innate in you to communicate more clearly when you're in person, and when you can't be there in person, video helps build the gap or build a bridge across that gap.
Have you got, especially the ladies, have you got any tips to get over what I call the secret agent syndrome, that people just don't want to get in front of a webcam and they just don't want to do it, Stephen? You got any kind of insights how to get over it?
Well, first it's the insight and the way that you see yourself and the motivation, and then we talk about some of the individual tactics. But what I always ask an audience when I'm speaking is, if you were in front of more people more often, would you do more business? The answer is always Yes, I'm my best asset if I was in front of more people more often. Well, every time you choose not to send a video, and video isn't right in every instance, it's not right in a lot of instances for that matter, which we could talk about, but every time you choose not to send a video, you were saying no to a face-to-face meeting. If someone called you and said, meet me at the coffee shop, I want to talk to you about listing my home, there's a 0% chance that you would say, my hair's not looking right today, I don't feel so great. You would go to the coffee shop, you would have that meeting. And if you start changing the perception and the way that you look at video and not watch the video back, because they're going to see you anyway, whether you meet them at the coffee shop or not, it is only your fear of sending that video out that's preventing you from getting face to face. If you know that you would do more business, allow yourself to do more business. And where most people, again, they get hung up on video, they get too scared to do video, it's simply because they're not great at memorizing scripts, or they feel that the video has to be perfect. In a one-to-one video to a new lead that you haven't met before, if you say, hey, Jonathan, thank you so much for filling out the form on my website. I hope you found everything that you need. And if you pause for a second to think, it's okay. Because again, this style of video is communicative. And when you speak to someone face to face, they don't always instantly know what they want to say and when they want to say it. There's pauses, there's emotion, there's an authenticity, shiny inversion. And the shinier that something is, the less authentic it feels. And so the type of video that we're promoting is easier to do because mistakes are okay. My favorite story, and then I'll stop, but my favorite story.
I love it. Don't stop. Go.
My favorite story is my wife. She had all the same fears that everyone else had. I had the same fear back in 2011, but she's like, I don't want to send video. I'm like, you have to send video. You're married to the CMO of BombBomb. It's embarrassing. So she was actually emailing a Remax agent in Westchester, Pennsylvania. She was selling skincare stuff at the time, and she had all the products in her hand. Very first video she ever recorded, and she dropped all the products on the floor with the papers while she was recording. And she goes out of the frame like this. And I look over, I'm in the kitchen just down the way, and I'm like, you keep going, keep going. And she pops back into the frame and her face is bright red. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Susan. I'm such a klutz. And she stopped recording and she said, there's a 0% chance I'm sending this message out to Susan. And I was like, oh yeah? And click. And we sent it. And here's the deal. Susan called her in 15 minutes and was like, Gretchen, you are awesome. I can't believe that you sent me that video. Do you know I'm such a klutz? And it seems like, and they talked about how klutzy they were for 10 minutes. And she was like, I'll just buy all the products, because she made an emotional connection. Sales is a transfer of emotion. And you can't transfer that emotion in black text with black text on a white screen unless you are a brilliant writer who writes all the time. That emotion is not going to be transferred. The emotion happens when they see you and they hear you. People determine who you are and how trustworthy you are within seconds of meeting you that first time. And if you're not giving them that chance, or you're giving them a chance to meet you before the 3 other realtors that they're thinking about, you have a distinct advantage, because people will go for the known versus the unknown.
Right. And I'm going to add something in here for all those people listening. Another analogy of a type. So when we talked about shiny versus unshiny, this is a conversation I have all the time, Stephen, because I've been on the video platform for almost 11 years. Since YouTube first came out, I've been a video guy. I've got videos of me doing reviews on real estate technology that go back to 2010. So the thing about it, though, is that what people don't get, and you just so eloquently brought up, is that emotional transference is about being human on camera, making mistakes, laughing in too loud, too soft,
snorting,
all those things make you human. And one of the things that just drives me crazy is real estate agents always want to go hire a videographer and this, or drones and this, that. And I'm like, you are killing your chances for connection right there. Stop with all of that. And here's the analogy, long build up. But you got to realize that the people that do shiny and connect, the people that know how to do that, are guys on Madison Avenue who are getting paid millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to try to come up with some kind of message like got milk, and showing a guy with peanut butter in his mouth. All of that to create a 30-second spot that connects with you as a human so that you'll go out and buy that product. Now, you, me, everybody else, do we have that kind of skill, patience, budget? No, I don't think so. I don't, but I can connect, and I certainly can make a fool of myself on camera, no problem. And that, oddly enough, has driven my business, all the people's businesses that I've helped grow inside of real estate. The more authentic they allow themselves to be, the better video works for them. That's flat out. Like, the more they just skip all the bullshit and do an honest one-on-one, that is the bigger the chance. And by the way, the agent that I know is Christoph Schu, who is a master at just, he's smooth and polished, but at the same time, he's just talking to the camera, being authentic, and that's what works for him.
But I think what you're saying, Stephen, and you said it so well, is all this marketing activity that agents do in various ways, it's all fundamentally getting in front of that possible client for a face-to-face meeting, isn't it, Stephen?
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. And that's as simple as it gets. When you need to be face-to-face and time or distance or the technology is keeping you apart, send a video.
Yeah. One of the great things I've admired about BombBomb and you being part of the team is your singular focus on just video, personalized video. You haven't been tempted to broaden out the product as a CRM or this or that or the other. Has it been difficult to keep the product focused on video and not being tempted to spread it in other areas?
Yeah, at certain times, and we have made those mistakes here and there. I think now we have a more incredible focus than ever on just the video portion and going even deeper on video and finding the people that gravitate towards video and not trying to force people into it that don't want to use it. There's enough people out there, and providing a great experience for those people through a fast upload, an easy to use interface, providing that engagement, working where they work. So we have 60 integrations and 50 of them are in real estate specifically. And so if you're in your CRM product, BombBomb is sitting right there in Contactually, it's sitting right there in RealVolve. It's sitting right there, in other systems that you may be using. And it's staring right at you. So that trigger and that reminder, like, hey, I should send a video is right there. And so, yeah, we want to keep building that out and focusing specifically on video and maybe even trim some of the fat that we currently have and go even more focused on video.
Obviously 2019 was a turbulent year, with the rise of home buyer and other services. What advice would you give to the real estate agent, maybe beginning their career or maybe in their second year, about how they can become a much more effective agent in 2020?
Customer experience, fanatical view, perspective, and actions around creating a great customer experience. Because, any industry that's ripe for disintermediation, and there's a bunch, out there, people want to come in and cut out the middleman and make things better, more efficient, or what have you. That's where relationships win. And building an incredible customer experience, whether you're using video to help you do that, or you're just a great person and you are mindful of your customers and think about the experience that they get before they meet you, while they're working with you, and after they work with you. That would be, if I was getting into real estate right now, I would build a point of view, a set of core values that were all around a fanatical customer experience process.
The thing is, though, you speak to a lot of agents and they truthfully feel that their customer care experience is fantastic, but the reality tends not to meet what they think. What do you think that is about?
I don't know. I can't speak to that directly, but if you're not tracking, in the technology space, they have something called the NPS, or a Net Promoter Score, which is a system to easily track how many people would recommend you as a vendor or as a service partner, et cetera. And, 8s and 9s are the scores that you want with, or I'm sorry, 9s and 10s are the score that you want, with 8s being neutral and 7s being 7s and below being a detractor. And so something like that in getting with their customers, whether they decided to sign up with that agent and list with that agent or not, or work with that buyer's, agent. And this is the key, whether they use the agent or not, to send out follow-ups that ask why or why not, that ask them about the experience. It somehow quantifies the experience in some way, so you know if you're winning or losing. And especially from the people that decided not to choose you. A simple and easy questionnaire, so you know where you're winning and losing, not just from the people that were attracted to you and that already liked you, but from the entire gamut. Feedback is what I would.
Funny enough, Mailrite has a system built for that, actually.
Well,
So you've just done a great sales job for me there, Stephen. Thank you so much. We're going to wrap up the podcast part of the show. We like to keep it slightly below or around 30 minutes. But Stephen's agreed to stay on for some bonus content. We're going to be talking about...
Wait, John. I'm sorry, man, but you are not selling that the right way. So you're going to let me step in and I'm going to sell it the right way. So Stephen is going to reveal a secret of one of the people that is using BombBomb to sell $11 million in real estate in the span of 1 year. And he's going to give us some of the insight.
90 days. 90 days.
And what?
It was 90 days.
90 days. Holy cow, I got it wrong. So how somebody used BombBomb to sell $11 million of real estate in 90 days. I think you all want to stay tuned.
Oh, well. He did a great job there. You must be patient with me, listeners and viewers. I am English at my core. So, Stephen, how can people find out more about you and what's on your radar and about BombBomb?
Yeah, so you can go to bombbomb.com for BombBomb. If you're interested in video, my buddy Ethan Butte and I wrote the only book on how to rehumanize your business and use video as a communication tool. We just sold over 21,000 copies, and we got top 15 business books of the year. Number 15, I might say, but we made it. The top 15 Porch Light business books of the year. Just skin of our teeth in getting in that 15th spot. But it's right under Charles Schwab, which isn't too bad.
Right. Congratulations, man. That's huge.
Yeah. So
what was the name of the book again?
It's called Rehumanize Your Business.
All right. It's Rehumanize Your Business. For those people that are on my Instagram feed, I've got a small stream of people now watching the show through my Instagram. So
yeah.
I'm going to pick up a copy. I suggest all of you pick up a copy. It's called Rehumanize. We're meeting with Stephen Pacinelli today, who is the CMO of BombBomb. All right.
And Robert, how can people find out more about you and your company?
This show, they don't care, but I'll go through it anyway. Inboundrem.com. I'm an inbound marketing guy, and I've written lots of great content to help your real estate business succeed. And it's all free. It's all on my website. Go check it out.
That's great. And if you want to find out more about Mailrite, go to mail-right.com. Like I say, we got a free marketing plan offer, a one page that we will customize for you. And you can have a nice discussion with me and we can personalize it. So
but remember, he's English.
And I'm English. And it won't be War and Peace. It'll be one page and you can use it to get the results that you're looking for yourself and for your family. We'll be back next week with another great guest like Stephen. We'll speak to you soon, folks. Bye.
And here we are. Hang on for the bonus.
So the bonus. So tell us more about this.
Jim, it was Jim Burgess, right? That's the name?
Burgess.
Jimmy Burgess, yeah.
Jimmy Burgess. All right.
Tell us about
Jimmy Burgess using BombBomb.
Yeah, so Jimmy devised a strategy. I've never heard this before, and I work with a lot of realtors. We have 49,000 customers. And so this is the first time I've heard of this exact strategy used this way. And now I know of a bunch of people doing it, getting similar success. And so he took the BombBomb screen recorder product and once a day for 90 days. It wasn't 7 days a week. I think he did 5 or 6 days a week. But for that 90-day period, he went to the MLS, took one of the people out of his database, and looked at the recent sales in and around their neighborhood. He left that screen up from the MLS on his screen, and then would go to Google Earth and type in the person's address into Google Earth. So now he hits the record button in his BombBomb, and BombBomb records him and the screen at the same time. And what that person sees initially when they receive his email is an aerial view that's moving of their home. And so right off the bat, this is a pattern disrupt from all the marketing mess that people receive in their inbox. They see their home on an aerial view that's moving, that's animated, because that's the way that BombBomb appears in the inbox. And there he is. So when they click play, it's hey, Robert, this is Jimmy Burgess. You know, we haven't chatted in quite some time, but you've been in your house for 5 years. So I thought you would just want a quick little update with what's going on in the neighborhood. It's just a service I like to provide my clients. So here's what's selling, here's what's happening. And he does a 2 to 3 minute video. It's fast. And he goes from that Google aerial view right into the MLS stats. And he did that. And so this was surprise. No one requested this, unsolicited CMA. And he did a 2 to 3 minute video once a day, sent it out. And at the end of those 90 days, he generated $11 million in new listings, sold it for a little over $9 million. So listed for 11.
Listed for 11, sold for 9.
Yeah, sold the total lot sold for a little over $9 million from just those activities, from just the people that he reached out to, the random list in his database, by one, pattern disrupt and standing out and being different and being personal and being human, and two, making himself valuable to the recipients that he sent the videos to.
I'm going to add a 3 and a 4 though for those that are on the audience, because it was in the subscript, but some of the people listening to the show may not have caught it. So there's what's called a recycle or refresh rate, and every time you have a product, every time you sell anything, cars, houses, floor mats, doesn't matter. There's no length of time between time that people on average buy or sell your particular product, usually. With houses, it's very much true. And you said it in the beginning of your talk, which is this agent was looking at people that had been in their home for 5 years, because that is the beginning of the average recycle rate for real estate, is about 5 years. So actually he had a list, and he qualified his list by saying, oh, you've been in your home for 5 years. And then he sent out the message. So he started with the qualification process. Then he sent out those videos. I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that, because if you're sending these videos out to somebody that's been in their home for a year, they're probably still redoing their new garden and may not be quite as receptive to listing their home as the rest of the people on the list.
Yeah, that's totally true. But also as just as a value add 1 year in, people aren't expecting that. And if you are truly sending it and coming from a place of value and help, it's like, hey, I know you just moved in last year, but I just like to provide this service. Here's a couple of listings that sold. Guess what? Looks like your home's going up in value. Hey, if you have any questions, let me know. That it's not going to be as effective as the 5 year plus, to your point. Agreed, 100%. But if you're looking for business and you don't have a bunch of those 5 year plus, or you're not tracking that person that you just reminded them that you're an awesome realtor, and now you're following up knowing that you're not going to get business, you can get the referral, you can get the recommendation.
I totally agree. There's no argument that it would be a great value into the relationship. And it's absolutely positively an idea that I had not heard of before. I hope that you guys joining me on Instagram and everybody joining us on Facebook Live, that you guys really hung in here and stayed tuned for this, because if I was a real estate agent, I would one, smart marketing dude, I'd be going and getting BombBomb. And then number two, I would absolutely be doing this. And I wouldn't really care if they were 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I'd just start experimenting, because I'll bet you money you're probably right. You put yourself top of mind with something useful, the handful of people that might have a referral for you would probably send it to you. And they're like, this guy's awesome. Look what he did for me. Aren't you looking to sell your home, Mary, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So price-wise, where does BombBomb start off with when on its pricing structure then, Stephen?
$29 a month. So it says $29.95 now. That's going to change to $29 flat. So $29 a month for our one-to-one video product. If you're looking for a mass email tool with some automations and things like that, like where you can send mass videos out, we have that as well. And that one's at $588 a year, annual cost $588 a year. So yeah.
So for $29 a month, it's not an enormous investment for a really powerful product that can really generate some really fantastic results, is it?
Yeah, $29 a month. I mean, if you get that one relationship going, that one reminder, if you use Jimmy Burgess's strategy for 90 days with the system, it'll pay for itself.
The only thing is, only to finish off though, Stephen, and I don't know if you got any insights, is also the other problem is that all the kind of reviews and reports show that so many agents are really very bad at following through with past customers and people in their sphere of influence. Do you think that's changing, or do you think it's still remaining the same? And have you got, to finish off our interview, got any insights why that is?
I have, in the 20 years I've been in the business, I have seen a change, because good and bad. Good, it's easier to send crap out. It's easier to put someone on an automated email drip campaign, because you have their email address and you put them into the system, and you don't care what's being sent out, and they're just getting emails from you. And might that work? Yeah, that might be enough touches. It might have kept you top of mind. But what is lost? So that's good. It's easier to stay in touch. But what's lost is the connection again. It's that human connection. And if you try to automate your relationships, you're going to be automated out of the industry, because the relationships are what's left. That's what makes you different than all these other companies that want to automate the process. And so it's a yin and yang, for me. So it's getting better, it's getting worse, but I see a lot of agents doing it really, really well. And a lot of agents not, so.
They're going to be the winners. Thank you so much, Stephen, for coming on the show. You have to come back later on in the year. I've really enjoyed our discussion, and thank you so much, because I know you're a busy guy. And hopefully we'll be back next week with somebody of the quality of Stephen, discussing how to make your 2020 a great year, not only for yourself, but your family. We'll see you soon, folks. Bye.